particular engine model, the intake is plastic. These are very prone to heat damage and warping around the intake, which led to a very inconsistent idle. Once it was warmed up, it did not want to return to the idle position. It would hang out at around 1200 RPM, which makes sense. When it's on metered air, it's basically having the throttle cracked halfway. Not quite halfway, but you get the picture I'm trying to paint. So, either way, put the new intake on and get this thing taken care of. I also think I have some gasket leak around the intake themselves, where the mating surfaces are, because those gaskets are pretty flat. Good thing is, new manifold comes with new gaskets for the carburetor and both the both of the head sides, so that's a plus. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the throttle linkages. Just keep an eye on what you're taking off, but you know where it goes back on. You can always adjust it, but I'll get these off here. And these bolts that hold the manifold onto the head, you can either use, looks like a 10mm, or the Torx bit here, which is a T27, if it'll focus on there, which is just this guy here. I like these because you don't have to come on them exactly straight. Kind of a universal advantage, you know, you can get a little bit of an angle and still get them off without stripping them, and get them set a lot easier too. And I also pulled off this little bitty, that's just your fuel shut-off solenoid in the bottom of the fuel bowl in the carburetor. Just pull that little dude out. And oh, I also forgot. You might be able to see it right here. That's a little bitty PCV hose that comes back off of the block there. You see this hose? Little bit of a pain if you forget to put that on before you put the shroud on. Thought I could try to pull it through this way with the shroud on. It's not the friendliest of rubber to pull through there, so just don't forget when you put this back on. Alright, well, wham bam, there we go. Seal is a little swollen. If you can see how swollen this seal is right here, I don't know if you can tell. Put it on my hand. Okay, you can even see it's kind of oblong there, and how loose it sits on here. See that? That's alcohol in your fuel. Alcohol is not the best thing for these guys, but it's in all of our fuels, so that right there is proof. The reason why you need to put fuel stabilizer in your fuel for any of your equipment, whether it's your ATVs, lawnmowers, chainsaws, whatever. It's important, guys. It really is. Because if it does that to your O-rings, it does to all sorts of seals inside of here as well. There's your main two jets here. There's the pin, float, and fuel shut off. This little rubber stopper on top. Put that to the side for now. Yeah, even the bowl gasket gets kind of swollen, oblong. Oh no, I mean, I'm smelling this. This doesn't smell like the fuel is very, very old. But you know, it's one of those deals that alcohol swells and also hardens this stuff too. I mean, they'll harden with age, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to tell you, oh, if it's hard, it's ethanol. Age does that to things too. So I think this mower's got about 360 hours on it, and it was owned by just a homeowner. So, you know, that's many years of service. And I happen to know this homeowner, and property's not that large, so it's just many years of work here. See, that's got a bow from here to here. There's a good chance that this is sucking some unmetered or unfiltered air through this section here, and this being the engine side going directly into the heads, that's unmetered air. Whew, that's pretty rough there. I can almost see a gap, like a razor blade gap in that. E5. See that little big guy right there? That's a little bit shorter to hold the carburetor on. Who'd have thunk it? I know you're probably thinking, why didn't you just order a gasket kit? Well, as of about 20 minutes ago, I didn't know I was going to have the carburetor off. So, how you like that? If you want to give me a hard time, I don't look here anyway. I'm married. What are you going to say that's going to hurt my feelings at this point? Just kidding. I love you, babe. My objective here is to really just clean this guy pretty good. Stems will come out. Those seals aren't swollen in there, which that's a plus. But I do see, it's right here. See this? In there, in there. That is some jelly that has been recrustified. You see that? That was inside of those thread holes. I mean, it's not like that's anything performance related, but I'm just showing you that there could be some thread seal of some sort. No, I think it's just gunk. Anyway. Oh, that sounds... Of course you can buy parts, but there's only some people that can truly just rebuild. Or clean. I mean, honestly, about... Seems like in this field, about 90% of the job is cleaning, so... the blades won't engage. Well, it's because you got 2 years of leaves under your mow deck. Nothing moves anymore. What do you expect's going to happen? I'm just trying to just so gently separate gasket material. There we go. It's mostly here. Figures. I think that epoxy from that 90 got me. I have gasket scrapers, but I like to get down here personal. Just for a side-by-side comparison, so you see new seal, old seal, flat as it can be. The new gaskets stick out quite well, which would do a lot better at mating against that intake surface. The sad thing is, I mean, this is a new intake. It's Briggs, another 300, 400 hours, 10 years of service, whatever. With the same warpage as before, but you know what they do, they make them. Really just kind of clean this aluminum surface up using something that's going to dry quick. Mostly too, since this was a previously sealed surface, it's not like you've got to go crazy. You don't need to get the abrasives out. In fact, it being aluminum, just give it a little cleanup with some chemical wash here and you'll be just fine. No choke, half choke. Make up your mind choke. I'm getting it from top down there. Okay, yeah. Oh, you forgot your gasket. Yep, I know. Hush! I'm working. Working now? Yeah. Hey, Zoe. Hey, Zoe. You just chill. I know you want to play with Buddy. It's okay. Doggone studs again. I found them. Don't you worry. You hear them rattling? Rule of thumb when going in plastic is just don't be dumb. If it feels too tight, it probably is. I usually do a little 3-finger method. I go back and forth, a few fingers. So it feels almost as tight as you'd put a lid on an individual bottle drink. I'm like kind of tightening down that, you know, grandma might struggle with, but it'll still get done. Okay, so I just went back and forth until right there. I'm not two-handing this thing. I'm not even fully gripping it. I'm finger tightening it. If you gotta whip out the 3rd finger, you're doing too much. Just these 3 fingers. If you can get a little extra leverage, that's when stuff starts breaking. Right there. Just stop. 1, 2, stop. That's it. I'm not going any more with that. This guy here. These holes do matter. If I want to set it down here, but shouldn't do that. And this, the one thing that does suck about this job is you've got to put all this together, you know, pretty much in reverse. Now, I'm not going to say in reverse, but all has to be assembled before she can be buried in here. So put together this way and then shoved in. It is what it is, man. Just not a fan of this plastic manifold. I got my mating surface clean. Everything's tightened up down here. Linkages really need to be. And I can't forget about that guy, which is that guy. Just taking a little bit of oil, wetting up these. Okay, cool. Here I am wearing my nice camo shorts. Shame on me. Shame on me. Hard to get on if you don't get this first. Come on, back to your home. I said back to your home. Thank you. Up we go. Beautiful. Take a. Why does that look different? Why is there a shoulder in there? Is there an insert in there? Tell me. Good lord. Okay, well, it's alright. Seriously? These little bitty brass pieces. Come on. Alright. Well, I'll be back. I'm gonna go knock them out because these are the bolts I got, and these are the ones I'm using. Yeah, it's plenty. That's all I got to say about that. I'm gonna knock them out and be right back. 5 minutes of my life, I'll never get back. Decided to pop them bushings out of there. Not sure what the purpose of them being there was. Maybe they had a different version where this bolt was not shouldered. Not sure. All I know is I ordered this correctly. Model of the engine, build code, type, all that good stuff. Specifically, which is everything right here. Literally says model 40H777, type 0363, E1, code 04102-0YG. Try this again. Linkage back on there. Okay. There we go. Progress. I don't have all 4 of them in there yet, so I'm definitely not going to go any further. Bottom one. Okay. Mirror. Let's see. Nope, good. Beautiful. Okay. Stupid hose. I'm telling you. That guy right there. It's hard to pull through from this way. It is, literally from the back side. You can just give her the almost so gentle suggestion. Come on. Come on. There we go. She's in there. So, I'm going to drain the gas because it's orange and put some fresh fuel in it. My camera died last night. Got my idle set where I wanted it. And it started right up, actually, believe it or not. So I'm going to show you what it's like and how it should sound idling, smooth as it could be.